Tristan Thompson, credit to him. I forgot what this guy even looked like, and he came back out in the court ready to go. I mean, a lot of guys after a layoff of that long might look, out of sorts or winded, and I'm not saying he wasn't, but he gave
He
them
looked a
what they
little out of
need.
it.
He gave
Yeah.
them that presence down low, whether it was offensive rebounding, that putback dunk. I didn't think I'd ever see that from him.
Yeah. How about
And
the
that
stretch
kind
where
of
he
came
got
out
to
of
the
nowhere.
free throw line like 3 times in a row? That seemed to
Yeah.
drive New
Didn't
York
see that
crazy.
coming.
And then the
yeah,
plus
you
24 you got
you're
right
giving him
there.
that, Bobby? I'm
Yeah.
shocked you're gonna give him
I
that
mean,
one.
that stretch in the second quarter, and then that the first stint, as Bobby rightfully was saying during our little text thread, saved the game. Like that stint kept them afloat there because everything was going badly. And that second unit, I thought, played much better. I don't want to detract from what the second unit did, but by contrast, the first unit was so friggin' abysmal. This is like almost like Carson Edwards starting level of head scratcher with Brad. And we were geeked up. I was geeked up prior to see Romeo's name in there. It was pretty obvious early on that starting lineup was amazing.
John was ready for all of us to apologize.
Offensively, that lineup was so bad, and then they came
true.
back with it in the third quarter. And I was like, and again, I never understand that. When Brad does something like that, he's done it recently with the Mo Wagner situation, and he did it obviously with Carson earlier in the year. But then to come back to start the second half with the same mistake, like that, it was clear those guys, that wasn't working, right? Like that was an ill-fitting lineup. The offense was completely disjointed. You have Rob there, who's obviously not going to shoot. Romeo doesn't know where to stand yet, so he's kind of all over the place. He doesn't know how to play off these guys at all. And you could see it just looked like Keystone Cops out there with those guys with that offense.
Like Keystone Cops? I don't even know what that means.
It's an old school reference.
John and his references.
Boomers like Sherrod know.
Yeah,
Benny
Keystone
Hill.
Cops.
Is Benny?
You got
is Benny
that one,
Hill any
Sherrod?
better?
Let me get out the Boomosaurus over here.
I'll make sure we put the cookies on the bottom shelf. Things were not looking smooth and steady. It was chaotic, Jimmy. How's that?
Thank you. That's for everybody listening too, because I guarantee you, Keystone Cops had them searching through the Google.
John
Google, what's that?
Yeah, exactly. Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves.
We get the Boomer War.
Yeah.
Boomersaurus
can
is so
stand out.
funny.
You know what?
Jeeves.com.
You know what? I mean, we're going to spend probably an inordinate amount of time talking about all they did, but let's be real. This Knicks is at best a 500 team. This is what they're supposed to do. And I'm looking forward to them getting to the point where we can look at these games and look at them as an afterthought and get geeked about them playing teams like Denver, teams like Phoenix, teams that, frankly, if they were to beat them, that will be seen as significant progress. This was a good win because they needed to beat someone that, if we're being honest, is on their level right now. But I'm not going to get excited about this team until they start beating teams that are in that top tier, the tier that we thought they should be in.
Right.
You won't be getting excited.
That's fair. Absolutely. I think that's why going into the fourth quarter, I wasn't feeling confident about them winning, but at the same time, I was thinking, even if they do win it, I'm not going to be that impressed. This is the same story we've been seeing. And you know what? The New York Knicks are one of the teams that leads the NBA and blowing leads down the stretch, or at least when games are close down the stretch, they blow it when it matters the most. But the Celtics stuck with it. And what impressed me the most, though, or at least one of the things that really stood out, was the offensive rebounding, the second chance opportunities. What they get? 20 second chance points. You got 16 offensive rebounds. You got 9 between Romeo Langford and Robert Williams. I mean, Robert's supposed to do that, but Romeo, I mean, listen, for someone who, before that three-pointer, which I think obviously helped him refocus because he was completely lost out there before that happened, credit him for sticking his head in the game and sticking with it and grabbing those offensive rebounds. Because let's face it, a few months ago, Romeo may have checked out. Maybe last year, or maybe rookie Romeo wouldn't have been able to stay focused there and grab those offensive rebounds, hit that three-pointer, and of course, play some defense down the stretch for the Celtics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to give them the credit because we're bashing them if they lose this game. Like they lost to the Knicks, blah, 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 all this stuff. So I understand where you guys are coming from. It is the Knicks after all, and the Knicks are always going to be the Knicks, even if they are slightly better than we've seen. I hope someday the Knicks can be a great team in this league because it's just fun when the Knicks are great. But besides the point, I'll give the Celtics credit for putting together a strong fourth quarter because they're one of the worst fourth quarter teams all year long. So it's a breath of fresh air to see them actually be the team to make a little bit of the comeback there and close them out. And credit the Knicks, they fought to the very last shot. But the Celtics took care of business on their end, so I'll give them credit. Thompson we're looking at his line. It's a very Tristan Thompson-esque line. I mean, he's in mid-season form. But it was good. It was good to have that, extra big body out there. And, speaking of, our good friend Rob might be broken. I don't know.
Oh no!
Oh no! Don't start that.
He looked like 2019 Rob.
About Tristan, circling back to Tristan Thompson for a second. He looked pretty good tonight. We could all agree, right?
Yeah. Tonight.
Could he have not suited up last night against the freaking Sixers, against Joel Embiid, when they needed all hands on deck, especially when Embiid's drawing fouls at an absolutely alarming rate? I mean, Tristan Thompson couldn't go last night, but he was able to perform the way he was tonight. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it wasn't like COVID kept him out last night. It was just, conditioning, right? I mean, he was cleared to play. Am I right or am I right?
Well, he was in the reconditioning.
Options, Jimmy, am I right or am I right? What the hell kind of?
He was in the reconditioning. Yeah.
My point is, COVID didn't keep him out of last night's game, right? Like, he had been cleared to play, so it was the Celtics. It was Celtics' choice to not play him. Is that accurate?
See, I don't have a problem with them not playing him in that game if he wasn't in the right condition, because you're just getting him back. Why would you put him in a situation where you could potentially lose him again and for an even longer period of time if he's not ready to come back and play?
No, I agree, but I'm just saying
against Embiid.
Right.
No, I agree, but I'm just saying, like, how much more conditioned could he be in like less than 24 hours?
In 24 hours, yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
strange. It's strange. I don't get that really.
I just feel like they could have probably used him last night. I mean, especially based on the fact that Rob couldn't stay on the court, and then you had Taco playing like serious minutes, and Cornette, and I mean Thompson's
for sure.
They
need him tonight too, though.
Did we see either of those guys tonight?
We didn't see Taco. No. I know that.